like clock. I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop.
In a few weeks, we are going to get the Jigen versus Kashin Koji fight, unless, you know, the Boruto writers tease us again. We're probably going to get that fight, and that fight right there is definitely going to be one of the most impactful fights of Boruto thus far. So I want to go over some possibilities of what would happen if Kashin Koji or if Jigen were to win that fight. Now, first things first, what we understand is that Kashin Koji, supposedly he's going to be on the good side. We understand that he's going to be with Amado. Amado is supposedly defecting from the Kado organization and joining the good guys. So in turn, of course, Kashin Koji is also on the good guys. But regardless, if Kashin Koji wins the fight, a whole bunch of things can possibly happen, and not all of them are going to be good for the Hidden Leaf Village. All right, now first things first, is going to be the Kado organization versus Kashin Koji and the Amado, basically the Hidden Leaf Village. Now, of course, we understand that it was always the Hidden Leaf Village versus the Kado organization, but now the Hidden Leaf Village would of course have Kashin Koji and Amado on their side, and of course that would definitely be a very good thing, man, because before this we were going in blind. Like, the Hidden Leaf Village had no idea, no inkling about who the Kado organization was, about what power they had, how strong they were, and how much people are actually in the Kado organization. But now we've kind of got a little bit of intel about their overall goals, and of course a possible off switch for a lot of the guys in the Kado organization. But now we have an actual idea of the Kado organization and what they are, so that's a very good thing. Now, the other thing that I'm pretty sure a lot of people have not necessarily been talking about is the outsiders of the Kado organization. Of course, we know all the insiders of the Kado organization, we know the main 8, but regardless, we haven't really talked about the outsiders of the Kado organization, and those guys are extremely strong as well. We've seen Al damn near solo Team 7, Konohamaru was trembling in the shoes, and of course we've seen another one, which is Garu. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but he pretty much went 1v1 versus Kawaki with the Karma Seal, and Kawaki almost lost to him. So of course the outsiders are going to be very, very good as well. In my opinion, they're probably going to be Jonin level. Now, because the Kado organization probably won't have the adequate battle strength for taking on Naruto and Sasuke head on, the outsiders of the Kado organization are going to play a very huge role, and this is mainly because we don't know all of the outsiders of the Kado organization. One of the biggest plot twists throughout the whole thing, a character who we thought was through and through a shinobi, which was Ao, who frequently visited the Hidden Leaf Village, was in the Kado organization as an outsider. So that probably means that there are probably also other ninjas, Jonin level and possibly above, that frequent the Hidden Leaf Village, that possibly even has ties inside of the Hokage's office, that could probably do a lot of serious damage, would probably be activated. Now, just thinking production wise, this gives the writers of Boruto free reign to do a lot of creative things, have people backstab Naruto, a lot of plot twists. But of course it's going to be a very, very sticky situation for a character like Naruto and Shikamaru that are actually trying to plan what they can possibly do versus the Kado organization, especially if they have some leaks actually leaking information to the insiders of the Kado organization. One of the biggest plot twists, and I know this is probably going to never happen, but one of the biggest plot twists would be if Shikamaru himself was actually part of the Kado organization. Could you imagine the shockwaves that would just go throughout the whole Naruto fan base? That would be absolutely insane. I strongly doubt that's going to happen, but just the possibility would be insane. But regardless, it's going to be a situation where the other insiders, the one that we really know of, is of course going to be Code, but led by him, possibly even led by Isshiki Otsutsuki versus the Hidden Leaf Village, and that would definitely be a very good upper hand for the Hidden Leaf Village just because of sheer knowledge. Now, all of this could possibly be irrelevant for the simple fact that Amado might have the off switch for a lot of the members in the Kado organization. We understand that Amado had an off switch for Delta. Even Kashin Koji asked himself if he possibly had an off switch for him. It's also possible that Amado has an off switch for Code and the other members in the Kado organization, simply because of the fact that we know that a lot of them are going to be cyborgs. I spoke about this before in one of my previous videos. I spoke about how anybody who has the potential of rivaling Naruto or Sasuke, they're either genetically altered, may it be a full-blown robot like Delta, or a cyborg like Kashin Koji, or they have to be a part of something else, for example the Otsutsuki clan. Now, a side effect that might actually be bad for the Hidden Leaf Village, and I think this is something I've talked about on multiple occasions, but Amado might actually kill Kawaki. I'm not necessarily going to talk a lot about this mainly because I talked about it so much, but Amado understands that the next spot for Isshiki Otsutsuki to possibly go is in Kawaki's body. Now, that's assuming that Amado knows all the ins and outs of the Karma Seal, him being the scientist of the whole Kado organization. You can reasonably assume that he does know the ins and outs of the Karma Seal, so if he does understand that, and he does understand that Kawaki has Isshiki Otsutsuki's other curse mark, of course Amado's next mission after they assassinate Jigen would then be to assassinate Isshiki Otsutsuki's next vessel, which is of course Kawaki. There is a huge unknown about how many vessels Isshiki Otsutsuki actually has. Here's the thing, I'm not necessarily sure about the exact numbering, but you guys are gonna get the gist. For example, there is about 13 experiments in total. all of them died, and Kawaki was like the 12th experiment. Kawaki was a successful experiment. Isshiki Otsutsuki successfully passed his karma seal on to Kawaki. All the other experiments 1 through 11, they died. Now of course, Kawaki being the 12th one and the person that we all cared about, no one really talked about the 13th experiment. But the 13th experiment could possibly also have the karma seal as well. Isshiki Otsutsuki up until that point probably didn't know how to transfer his karma seal successfully, and of course, if he could have possibly done something different with Kawaki, that could have been the successful formula. Isshiki Otsutsuki could have possibly redone that successful experiment inside of that 13th child. That right there would probably be like one of the most entertaining scenarios, mainly because it would just introduce a brand new character that we had no idea about prior to this, and of course he'd automatically be linked to a character like Kawaki, mainly because they were one and the same. They were both basically Isshiki Otsutsuki's lab rats that were the only successful 2 out of 13 experiments. So of course that would be a very fun storyline. But getting off of the possibilities if Kashin Koji actually does win, let's start to give my man Isshiki Otsutsuki some respect. Now these are the scenarios if Isshiki Otsutsuki does win. Now if Isshiki Otsutsuki does win, I think that Jigen might be done as a vessel, which pretty much means that Isshiki Otsutsuki would have to find another vessel, and of course the 13th experiment will also play a part here, and of course Amado would still be on that mission to possibly kill Isshiki Otsutsuki's next vessel, which is of course Kawaki. Now of course if Isshiki Otsutsuki does win, it'll still be the Kata organization versus the Leaf. The Kata organization definitely going to be a lot stronger, mainly because of just the appearance of Isshiki Otsutsuki, him being there. We understand that him in his prime could possibly take down Naruto and Sasuke, but as of right now it seems that with him in the Kata organization they could possibly do it as a group, and of course without him it would probably be extremely difficult for the Kata organization to even come close to attack the Hidden Leaf Village dead on. They would have to be a lot more strategic, so now they can be a lot more confident in what they want to do and what they are planning for the future. Also if Isshiki wins, they're probably gonna have to speed up the timetable of what they were planning on doing. For example, we understand that Amado explained in the last chapter that they're pretty much going to plant the 10 tails and then form a god tree so Isshiki Otsutsuki can eat the chakra fruit. But now I feel like if Isshiki Otsutsuki does beat Kashin Koji, he's probably going to understand that, hey, they're catching on to me now. I'm probably going to have to plant the 10 tails right now, like right away. So I feel like a lot of their plans are going to be sped up if this actually does happen. And of course, going back to the Kawaki thing, for example, if Isshiki Otsutsuki does beat Kashin Koji and then Amado does not kill Kawaki, mainly because Naruto is like defensive of Kawaki or something, Kawaki might then be abducted. We understand that Isshiki Otsutsuki or Jigen has the ability to pop up in front of Kawaki at any time because of the karma seal link, and of course that right there makes Kawaki in constant danger of being abducted by Jigen or even just flat out taken right in front of Naruto, and Naruto can't really do anything about it, mainly because Jigen or Isshiki Otsutsuki has the potential to blow up the whole house that they're standing in. So of course I feel like that right there would definitely be a very, very bad thing. And of course, and one thing I do want to point out, Amado might actually tell them in the next chapter that he wants to do something to Kawaki, maybe not kill him, but have him in a very, very secure place. If Naruto is not going to adhere to that, I feel like Shikamaru is really going to try to force him to agree with Amado in this situation. Of course, it's not because Amado or Shikamaru is trying to defy Naruto, and of course Naruto understands that he doesn't necessarily want to have anybody cooped up, mainly because he understands how it feels being a Jinchuriki himself. But regardless, I feel like the best way to go about this is of course with caution, especially with the knowledge that Jigen could pop up in front of Kawaki at any given time. Now one thing that I did want to point out, the idea that Jigen or Isshiki Otsutsuki, I keep calling him Jigen, but Isshiki Otsutsuki is going to be the final boss. In my opinion, I think this is a very, very small possibility, mainly because the anime of Boruto or the series of Boruto is going to be extremely long for Jigen or Isshiki Otsutsuki, I keep saying it, to be the final boss. That right there is a stretch. He was introduced super early into the series, but I do have to say, for him to be the final boss, in my opinion, I feel like he needs to lose this battle. And of course, it's going to be a very big possibility that he does lose the battle. Think about it. If he does lose this battle, it gives Isshiki the opportunity to go into hiding, almost like Orochimaru. Orochimaru took multiple L's as a villain and thus pretty much gave him the opportunity to go back into his little hiding spot, now have all the eyes on him, and he can just pop up whenever the time is convenient for him. In this particular situation for Isshiki Otsutsuki, him being a much bigger villain, much stronger villain, he can possibly hide into Kawaki's body, just like how Momoshiki is hiding in Boruto's body, and not come back up for a couple of years. But if he does win this battle, all focus and all attention is going to be on Isshiki Otsutsuki. All the Hidden Leaf Village and possibly all the surrounding nations are going to try to do is find Isshiki Otsutsuki, capture Isshiki Otsutsuki, and possibly even kill Isshiki Otsutsuki. So of course, for the longevity of Isshiki Otsutsuki, the best thing for him to do is actually die in this battle versus Kashin Koji. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below, and give me your opinions about who do you guys think is going to win. I'm gonna give my opinion in the next video when I do talk about the preview of the next chapter of Boruto, and of course that chapter is definitely definitely going to be a groundbreaking chapter, arguably one of the most important chapters of Boruto thus far, mainly because of all the long-term indications just rooted from that Kashin Koji versus Isshiki Otsutsuki fight. But let me know what you guys think. It's been your boy, Bar B, and we out.
It's a knife.